MissTransforce96 here with another video review. This time it's going to be the Marvel Legends from the X-Men wave, Kitty Pryde. So yeah, going over the packaging just real fast because we all know it. But overall the packaging is quite nice. It's done in a nice yellow theme, which is good considering we have so many reds and blue ones. To have a yellow theme really does kind of split it up. And it just, you know, when you're walking down the toy aisle and you see a bit of yellow there, you get excited, you know, beforehand though. With red, you know, it could be the old series, but with this, you get excited when you see that yellow package there. So I do have to say I do like the yellow quite a bit. Going over the actual figure now, the main course. This was a figure that I wasn't super excited for. I mean, this entire wave has been really big heavy hitters. I was really looking forward to all of these characters. However, figure-wise, I didn't really think this one was going to be too special. You know, it seemed like an average figure with a couple of neat accessories and obviously a new head sculpt. Nothing fantastic though. And then character-wise, it was pretty cool, so I was happy to get her for that. However, figure-wise, really turned out to be quite special. I have to say, I was not expecting this figure to be as good as it is. It's actually kind of the surprise hit of the wave for me so far. I don't have a Deadpool and Wolverine yet. However, out of the other figures, this one is my the one that I like the most. I think it's a bit of a toss-up between her and Rogue at the moment, but wasn't excited for this one, and I was very excited for Rogue, and it actually turned out that this one was extremely impressive. She does come with the Onslaught head, the accurate one, not the Red Skull Onslaught head, which is quite nice. That was obviously a piece that was going to be included in the Onslaught wave along with the Rogue figure, but when she got delayed, the piece was then given to Kitty Pryde here, and now it's finally come out in this wave. I think, you know, I don't think I've even reviewed Onslaught yet, so I'm not going to talk about that head in this review, and I'll probably just save it for the Onslaught review. She does also come with this dragon. Now, this is something, I've seen many toys come with this dragon from her before. It's just, I don't really know what the dragon's all about. I'd love to know if you guys know. If you want to give me some background on that, I would love to know, because I really don't know what this dragon is. It's obviously some sort of pet for her, but I don't quite know much about him. But it's sculpted quite nicely, as you can see. You do have a nice sculpt there. He has like lines in his chest and everything. The fingers and toes are all sculpted nicely. And he is just a completely purple. He's a metallic purple. And then his eyes are white. And it looks quite nice. And also, I'm really a big fan of how it does hang on her. The fact that, you know, he sits very nicely on her shoulder. And then his tail wraps around her neck. Really perfect way to get the dragon to be actually displayed on her. Really stable and, you know, doesn't fall off at all, which is great. Figure-wise, I'm not quite sure what's new on this figure completely. The legs are reused, I mean, that's a definite. And I believe that the arms are reused, although I'm not 100% sure because of this this kind of gloved area. The hands are definitely reused, and I'm sure the upper arms are reused. On the torso, I'm also not sure, because it does seem like this is actually sculpted. This isn't something that's just glued on the torso. So if I'm not mistaken, the bottom half of her torso is reused. However, the top half is a new sculpt, if I believe that that's the case. I was thinking that it would be an old sculpt with this piece just kind of glued on it, but it does seem to actually be this piece is molded on this, which is quite nice. Going over the head sculpt, the head sculpt is fantastic. That's one of the things that I really wasn't, you know, I thought it would just be a fine head sculpt, but it actually turned out to be great. This head sculpt looks really realistic to me. It almost doesn't even look like a comic book head sculpt. It actually looks like a person, which I think is awesome. Really quite special. I don't know why, but the head sculpt just looks very real, very nice. The eyes are painted perfectly. Not only the way that they're painted, but they're painted completely straight as well, which is just really awesome. I'm very happy with it. And then she does have a ponytail, and what's nice about her having the ponytail is it really doesn't hinder her articulation, which is nice as well. The only thing that I don't like about the head sculpt, and this might just be limited to mine, but you do have like a bit of plastic kind of chipping at the bottom section of her, like it wasn't cut right, so I'm not too happy about that. However, it is just a small thing. And then as her hands go, she comes with a standard fist hand. She also comes with this hand. I'm a big fan of this hand. I don't know if you remember when I reviewed Beetle, which this hand comes from. I was really quite a big fan of this hand. I think that it's an awesome hand. It definitely shows a lot of power, and it looks very smooth the way that it's sculpted. So I'm really happy with this hand. Very happy that she comes with it, and it just works out perfectly. And also, you can use her powers like with this figure, which is kind of neat. What I've done is you can easily remove the hand, so I usually just remove this hand and I put put her like up against another figure, and then I'll take the hand and just kind of peg it on the back of that figure to make it look like she's reaching through him, which, you know, it actually looks pretty good. You can check it out on my Instagram page, but it actually looks kind of neat there, and it's a really neat way to express her powers, which I do like a lot. As far as articulation, pretty standard articulation for Marvel Legends. She has a ball-jointed neck that's attached to a hinge. Now, on my figure, I have a problem with mine. The ball joint works great, of course, but it's a ball joint on a peg, and that peg is on a ring, which wraps around a peg in her neck, which allows it to swivel. However, the peg on her neck, from the top and everything, it is hollowed out, but at the bottom section it is not hollowed out, which means that ring can't move, because the ring is stopped by the plastic at the bottom of her neck there. So it does not hinge for me, and when I try to get it to hinge, I'll just end up pulling out the joint. The joint can just slot back in, but it won't move because of that issue. I do have a case coming with Deadpool and Wolverine in it. It's an entire wave actually from Big Bad Toy Store, so I think that I'm going to get that one. I'm going to end up just returning this one because it is a flawed figure. So I do have a replacement coming at least. So that's good to know for me. Otherwise, I would have been very disappointed. However, you know, this is probably just an issue on mine. However, it could be extended across other figures. So definitely check yours to make sure that hinge works. Then you have a ball hinge shoulders, hinge swivel elbows, hinge swivel wrists. You've got a ball jointed upper torso, which has great range, really nice. Then you have ball jointed hips with thigh swivel, double hinge knees, and hinge pivoting ankles. Overall articulation is great on this figure. You know, it's standard Marvel Legends articulation. However, the standard Marvel Legends articulation has become really quite good over the past couple of years here. So, you know, that's definitely a good thing, a plus. Overall, this figure actually turned out to be fantastic. I really love it. On the strength of that head sculpt alone, it's really kind of blew me away. And then, of course, I'm a personal fan of the left hand that she comes with. That's just that's a sculpt piece that I've always liked. So I'm really happy to see them reuse it. And then just her in her nice classic kind of yellow costume really does look quite good. Adds a bit of color to your shelf as well. And overall, just a fantastic figure. She also comes with a decent amount of accessories too, which is quite nice. So overall, I think that this is the surprise hit of the wave. Rogue is fantastic, but I expected her to be fantastic. Kitty Pryde is one that I wasn't expecting much of, other than, you know, she seemed like a normal figure, but a cool character. However, it turned out that the figure matched her character, that being very awesome. So, very happy to have it. Definitely would recommend this one. If you're on the fence, I would say get her, because she definitely is quite a surprise as far as being quite a good figure. So there you go. That's my review of the Marvel Legends from the X-Men wave, Kitty Pryde. Thanks so much for watching.